Hi guys! Bet you wonder where I've been. Unless you've checked social media, then you know why I haven't been online. I thought I'd jump on and make a video explaining what's been going on in my life and where I've been and why I haven't been uploading. There's a very good reason for it. So if you haven't been on social media, then you won't know that I've had dengue fever for the past week. And I'm finally just recovering from it. If you're wondering where the video on Friday came from, just to put it out there now to avoid any confusion, that was filmed like 2 weeks ago. So it's really nice to have that one kind of in the bank for me and on the side. So, I have dengue fever. It all started, and I will explain what dengue fever is as well and all that. It all started basically as we were going to Singapore for a few days on last Monday. So, we decided we were going to get the bus, and we were so pumped that we were finally going to get to see Singapore before we left Asia. I was working with this really cool hostel there. Everything was like, yes, this is going to be amazing, and I had like planned out the whole like 2.5 days of the videos and the shots I wanted and the food I wanted to try and the things I wanted to see. I had it all laid out so we got the most out of our time there. So Monday comes around, we get up super early, we get to the bus station for like 7 AM, print our tickets off, get our boarding passes, whatever. And suddenly I get a headache and like body aches, and they just like came on. I was like, this is weird. Maybe I'm just tired. Maybe, you know, I'll just have a few hours sleep because I got up early on the bus and I'll wake up feeling okay. Well, that didn't happen. We got on the most incredible bus. This, the Solitaire, like VIP bus, and you know, like first class seats on airplanes, the little pods that lie down flat. We had those. Amazing. And I'm so glad I had those with the way I was feeling. So over the coming hours going up to the border between Malaysia and Singapore, I got worse and worse. I started getting chills, I started getting a fever. We got off to go through immigration, and I started feeling really lightheaded, and the pain started spreading through my body. I was like, oh God, what's going on? And it was the head and the pain behind the eyes that was really getting to me. And so I thought, okay, maybe this is just a really bad migraine or something, because it felt like a migraine, but I was so achy there. I was like, is it? Anyway, so we got to the hostel, we checked in, and I immediately went straight to bed, and that's where it kind of all went really downhill. The pain that was rushing through my joints, like, imagine the flu, and you get really achy joints, but put that on steroids and times it by 1,000,000. I was literally writhing in pain for the following 3 days. I was fevered, like, oh my God, I must have been up near 40 degrees. That I was like, you could cook an egg on my head and my face. And I was just under there, I was just shaking, and like at night I'd start crying because the pain was getting so intensely bad that I couldn't handle it. And Scott was like, maybe this is dengue. Now dengue fever is a mosquito-borne viral infection, which causes severe headaches, severe joint pain, severe muscle pain, fever, etc., etc., and you get basically confirmed with a blood test, and also does a few more things which I'll come on to later, which can cause complications. So anyway, day 3 comes around in Singapore. I haven't left the bed at all, only to go to the toilet down the hall. That's it. Great time to have a shared bathroom as well. I was so ill, and by the 3rd day I still wasn't getting better, and we started to get worried at this point. And I hadn't been out, I hadn't seen anything. I was so pissed off that we were in Singapore and we paid money to get to Singapore and all this, and I was just lying there in bed. I was like, for God's sake. So I was like, I'm gonna try and come out this evening, just down the road to a little veggie cafe, and just get something to eat out, because I hadn't really eaten, and I wasn't really drinking enough either, which is another big problem. So I went out and I had basically a bowl of vegetables and rice, which I thought would be good for me. It tasted god awful. My taste was just so off. I didn't want to eat it. and then as we were walking back, I started getting really dizzy and faint and really needed to lie down again. So anyway, that was my outing in Singapore. That's all I saw was a bowl of vegetables and rice, and then I went back home. Next day, we were checking out, got up early, and I still wasn't well. And we walked out of the hostel, and I was there like, I wanted to just pass out. I had zero energy, or I could feel all the blood draining to my feet. And I was in so much pain and my head was just spinning. I was like, this is not good, this is not going well. To the point where I had to sit down on the concrete floor in the streets of Singapore while Scott gets a taxi and we went to the hospital. We missed our bus. I was like, you've got to go to the hospital. They drew some blood, put me on a drip, which I still have a bruise for. Yeah, I was severely dehydrated. They put me on some fluids, they give me some painkillers for the pain, and they did a blood test and it came back, and actually I will get my blood test. Hold on. I had to go for multiple blood tests, so I have them all and it's very important. Okay, so there's dengue positive and my platelets were 161. That's really important, that's what they were looking at. The normal range is 140 to 450. Normally an average healthy woman of about my age would have around 300, and this is per thousand, so 300,000 platelets. My white blood cell count was really low. Where is that? 2.06 when it should be 4 to 11 for normal range. Basically, dengue fever suppresses your bone marrow and also destroys your platelets in your blood. So it suppresses your bone marrow where all your platelets and white blood cells and everything are made, so no new ones are made, and then it destroys what's already in your blood, which is great and fantastic. So then we do the 6-hour bus ride back eventually when I get discharged from hospital with a wonderful bill. Oh, thank you, Singapore Hospital Medical Care. You were fantastic, your hospital was lovely, but you are ridiculously overpriced for 2.5 hours lying in a bed with some fluids going into my veins. But thanks anyway. So we do the 6 hours back, and the lady of Singapore told me I had to go 2 days later to get my platelets checked again. And she told me the progression of dengue. So basically my platelets will continue to drop for the next like 3 to 4 days, 3 days. Sharply, and it's really important that I get them checked so they don't go critically low. Under 100 is a warning sign, under 50 is hospitalization immediately. Because under 50 you're basically waiting for a stroke because your body can't clot. If you don't know what platelets are, by the way, it's what's in your blood to make it clot. So you can have major bleeding problems with dengue fever, and that's one of the big complications that you've got to really look out for. So our wonderful host here at Airbnb, Stevie, was such a legend, as always, and he made sure that we got to the doctors so I could get the blood test. So I've had 3 blood tests since I've been back, checking my platelets. It went from 161 platelets in Singapore to 81 platelets 2 days later. So my platelets halved in 48 hours. It went under the 100 mark, so there was a concern I had to get it back up. So I went back home, came here, drank loads of 100 plus or plus 100, whatever you call it. It's like an isotonic drink. Drank so much of that, loads of coconut water, and it went up to a grand total of 85 the next day. Wow, 4. I drank so much I wanted to be sick. And then we went on to the magic juice, which is basically papaya leaf extract, which has been proven to increase platelets in the blood, and I drank 3 bottles and it was foul. And then I went back yesterday and I'm at 126 platelets, so still below normal but rising rapidly, which means I'm on the mend. So that's my dengue fever story. It's horrible, it's vile. All you can do is treat it with paracetamol and bed rest. Paracetamol, obviously, to bring your temperature down. You're not allowed to take any anti-inflammatories or aspirin, ibuprofen, things like that, because they can thin the blood and it's like literally not what you need. You've got to be careful. I didn't get a rash. A lot of people get a rash 3 to 5 days in. Not everyone does though, and I never did, which was nice, I suppose. Yeah, I didn't get a rash. The doctor was nice enough to give me some muscle relaxants, so, which were really, really good, because it means I could actually sleep and actually relieve myself of some pain. I suppose I wouldn't wish this on anyone. This has been the most ill I've ever been in my life, in my entire life. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Dengue fever is not something, like, the hilarious thing is, the amount of travelling we've done through Southeast Asia and the amount I have been bitten before, and then over the year I've really, like, we cover up, we put loads of bug spray on, like, we rarely get bitten anymore. And especially here where we're staying in KL, there's only a few times that we've ever been bitten, and it's really ironic that it only really takes one little bastard mosquito who's got it to give it to you, and there's only one species of mosquito that can give it to you as well. So, and I've barely been bitten the past 2 weeks, so it just shows you. Anyway, we went to the doctor near us, and he says that this area is prolific for dengue. He sees 3 to 4 cases per day of dengue. It is absolutely flipping vile, and I'm so sorry I couldn't get this video out to you sooner, explaining where I've been or what I've been doing. Apparently, I'm pretty much way over the worst of it. But the doctor did say it could take like a month to kind of get over the tiredness and the lack of energy and just feeling lethargic. Take a month. And someone told me that on Twitter. I was like, no, I have things to do. So yeah, that's where I've been. I'm going to take this week to slowly get back into things. I still don't feel myself. I still feel really out of it and blah. But hopefully I'll be able to, I'm back on form now. Eat lots of fruit and veg because I haven't really been eating that much in the past week. So eat lots of fruit and veg and hopefully I'll be back. Thank you for your patience. I just wanted to jump on and explain what's been going on my end, and it has been horrible. So just know that. I haven't been on some vacation and leaving you behind. No, I've been in bed crying in pain, but it's over now. And I never want dengue again. Alright, I'll see you in a few days, just so I keep you up to date. Alright, bye-bye.